Okay, today we're going to be looking at the Grover Perfect Guitar Nut, which will convert your guitar, acoustic or electric, for lap steel playing. We're going to be looking at it for regular slide guitar playing, which if you read the reviews, that's what most people tend to use this for. It's a solid, substantial piece of gear here with some sharp edges, and I'll talk more about that later in terms of fretboard. I'm going to be putting a little strip of latex, as one of the reviewers recommended doing, on the fretboard edge so as to not leave a mark on my fretboard. I did another review a couple years ago of another nut extender, kind of a no-name one, and I will link that here as well as at the end of this video so you can check it out for comparison. Okay, so I have the nut installed and was just playing a little sort of Duane Allman inspired, very rough, very amateurish slide in open D. Duane played in open E, which is obviously one step higher, every string tuned one step higher than open D. But that puts a lot of strain on the neck of the guitar, and a lot of people don't like to use it for that reason. I do not recommend using one of these nut extenders on a nice guitar. I'm not going to leave this nut extender on the guitar for that reason. This is a Epiphone 1962 reissue. I would put this, or whatever nut extender you get, on a real beater guitar, like I'm thinking a Bullet Squire or an Affinity Squire, you know, like an Affinity Telecaster or a Bullet Mustang from Fender. Or if you want to put it on a Gibson style guitar, something like an Epiphone Special, you know, just a slab of wood with a P90 on it, would be a great slide guitar. The drawback of these, and this isn't a criticism of Grover, because they market it for lap steel, to turn your guitar into a lap steel, so to play it like this, like a square neck guitar. And I'm sure it would work great for that. But the problem with doing this for regular slide is, as you can see, it lifts the strings so far off the fretboard that there's no way to play a fretted note. So for example, last week I did a slide guitar lesson on the Eric Clapton version of the Elmore James cover, It Hurts Me Too, which is also in open D. I'll link that here. And after the slide part, which is all up here at the 12th fret, Clapton does a walk down, turn around thing down here, which is fretted, and then of course during the verses, there's this chunky rhythm thing going on here, here, and here that you can't do because you can't fret. I'm a little puzzled why Grover or someone else doesn't make one of these that's just a little bit lower, you know, a quarter inch or so lower, so you could fret notes and you could still do lap steel with it as well as play regular slide. But for the purposes of this review and demo today, I'm going to say if you're a starting player on slide, this is a great way to learn. You just don't have all that hassle of the fret buzz. And whether you buy this one or the no-name one that I reviewed last time, I don't think it matters a whole lot. I think this Grover one is heavier duty, it's a little bit better made, and it also doesn't stretch your strings wide of the fretboard down here at the nut as much as that other one did. It really pulled the two E strings, or in this case the two D strings, too far off the fretboard. I think it was more built for an acoustic guitar. So that's a consideration. If you are going to put this on an electric, definitely go with the Grover Perfect Nut. Again, it's like $6 on Sweetwater. I paid $8 on Amazon before I realized that you could buy them on Sweetwater. Definitely patronize Sweetwater. They're good company. And then as far as it screwing up your guitar, the other one, the no-name one, it did put a mark. I had it on a Gibson Melody Maker, a cheap Gibson. It did put a mark on the truss rod cover. So I'm going to be curious when I pull this off whether it left a mark here. I could have put some latex under there as well. So those Duane Allman licks, by the way, they're all around the 12th fret. 4 and 3. I showed you last time how that Clapton / Elmore James solo has that tension between the minor third and the major third, which you find on the 3rd string in open D or E between the 11th and 12th. And then that classic Duane turnaround is on the top 2 strings. So play around with that if you're an open D or E. If you're an open G, there's there's Led Zeppelin stuff, there's Muddy Waters stuff, there's just oodles of good things. George Thorogood, on and on. That's all the licks that I showed in that other demo that I'm linking at the end of the video, and I linked toward the beginning. All right, folks, thanks for joining me. See you next time.